This is what I'm trying to say. That if I have a number such as 7 to the power 2, 7 to the power 2 simply means that we are going to multiply the 7 by itself twice. What do I mean? I'm going to repeat this 7 twice so that I have a 7 times a 7. Don't forget, viewers, and you get 7 times 2. I know some people are saying that when you have 7 to the power 2, it means 7 times 2. No, it does not mean 7 times 2. This power 2 just shows you how many times a number is supposed to be multiplied by itself. So, in this case, we are having 7 squared, meaning multiply that number by itself twice. That's why we have a 7 times a 7. Suppose we had a 3 to the power 6. 3 to the power 6. 3 to the power 6 cannot be 3 times 6. 3 to the power 6 simply means we are going to multiply the base, which is a 3, 6 times by itself, not by any other number. So that would mean we are going to have a 3, that is the first time, times a 3, that is the second time, times a 3, that is the third time, times a 3, that is the fourth time, times a 3, that is the fifth time. Don't get tired. They are supposed to be 6 times. Times a 3. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 has been multiplied 6 times. So you're still with Obonyo Kenneth on e-learning teachers project Uganda. Remember, we have all these videos. They are available. You can always call us on the contact scrolling on the screens, and then we are able to avail you with all of them. Primary, O-level, A-level, study while you're at home. And don't forget, always sanitize your hands. If you don't have a sanitizer, get soap. Wash them, continue washing them. Wash until when the Minister of Health tells us to stop washing. Otherwise, don't stop until when the Minister of Health says stop washing your hands or stop sanitizing. That is when we can stop. But if they don't announce that, continue washing until when you feel, yes, washing is part of your life. Now, we are continuing. Like I told you previously, when you look at a topic like kinematics, it has rules and regulations. When you look at logarithms, it has rules and regulations. When you look at vector algebra, it has rules and regulations. When you look at any topic, linear programming, kinematics, set theory, all of them have rules and regulations. Why not indices? Indices has 8 basic rules. These are the rules. Rule number 1 says, a to the power x times a to the power y. In other words, when the bases are the same, you are multiplying. Simply add the powers. You will have a to the power x plus y. A to the power x plus y. We are going to handle these laws one by one. But before we go any further, Mr. Examiner, let us add here, where a is not equal to 0. For all cases, a must not be 0. Wherever you see a must not be 0. It can be any number apart from a 0. Now let us look at law number 1. Mr. Examiner, sir. Law 1. Law 1, you are telling us that when the bases are the same, you are multiplying, you add the powers. Suppose we have 2 to the power 1 times 2 to the power 5. The bases are the same. You're multiplying. What do we do to the powers? Mr. Examiner, sir, this will equal to 2 to the power 1 plus a 5. The first power plus the second power to give us a total of 2 to the power 6. Someone might be there wanting to ask, suppose the bases are not the same. Suppose the bases are not the same. It is like the head teacher of your school telling you that if you have a full school uniform, you will be allowed to enter the school gate. If you don't have a full school uniform, what happens? Will they allow you to enter? The security officers will not allow you to enter. It means you're not following the rule of the school. You're breaking the law. You get the point? Like the government said, beyond 7 p.m., you must not be outside your home. You must be inside your home. That is the rule. When you move outside, what happens? They will arrest you. Now, at this special juncture, if these bases are not the same, then it means the rule will not hold. The rule will not apply. The rule cannot work. Let's go to rule number 2. When the bases are the same, we are dividing. We simply do what? We subtract the powers. The first power comes first, then last power comes last. Mr. Examiner, sir, law number 2. You're telling us that when the bases are the same, for example, 3 to the power 7, we are dividing it by 3 to the power 6. 3 to the power 7 divided by 3 to the power 6. This is equivalent to 3 to the power. We start with the first power, which is a 7. We take away, we minus, we subtract the next power, which is a 6. But, Mr. Examiner, sir, 7 minus 6 gives us a what? A 1. So implying that we shall be left with 3 to the power 1. As our final answer, I'm giving you one example, and then we shall get mixed questions. And then we handle and summarize our chapter. Let us go to rule number 3. What does rule number 3 say? It says that when you have the base with a power in a bracket with another power, then it means that you need to open the brackets. But how do you open the brackets? You have to multiply the two powers, x times y, to give you xy. Law number 3, Mr. Examiner, sir. Law number 3. You are telling us that if we have, for example, 10 to the power 3 into brackets to the power 5. 10 to the power 3. Then again another power 5. How do we open the brackets? The examiner says don't stress yourself. Simply get the base 10. The first power a 3. Then multiply it by the next power a 5. So as to be able to get 10 to the power 3 times 5. Now there are those who normally want to confuse us. So I hear someone telling us that 3 times 5 is a 35. 3 times 5 cannot be a 35. Come on. 3 times 5 is a very good, a 15. So we have a 15 there. Implying that 10 to the power 3, then again to the power 5 gives us a 10 to the power 15. As simple as that. That was law number what? Law number 3. Now we are going to law number 4. Law number 4. Mr. Examiner, sir. Law number 4 says that the square root of any number a, the square root of any number a is that number to the power a half. It is that number to the power half. Suppose we have the square root of 16. The examiner is telling us that that is the same thing as saying 16 to the power a half. Mr. Examiner, are you sure? Yes, it is 16 to the power half. But, Mr. Examiner, sir, let us first come for some side work here. We can break down this 16 so that we have a 16. Mr. Examiner, sir, By 2, I have my 8. By 2, I have my 4. By 2, I have my 2. We don't end there. We continue. By 2, I have my 1. Which means this 16, that 16 is 2 to the power 1, 2, 3, 4. Mr. Examiner, sir, this will equal to 2 to the power 4. Remember, 2 to the power 4 is the 16. But again, originally there was another power half, which was coming from the square root, which the examiner told us about in law number 4. So we have to include it there so that we have a half. Now, Mr. Examiner, you're also very funny. You are again reminding us that now there are 2 powers, which brings us back to law number 3, that when there are 2 powers,